Hi there. These comments are for Alec. This is Michael. Thank you for doing your independent writing practice. You're one of my TOEFL writing boot camp course students. So I'm going to read and score your essay right now. I'm in day 3 after getting the COVID vaccination, the Pfizer vaccine, and the first 2 days I didn't feel too well, and I'm feeling a lot better today. I still have a cough, a little bit of a cough, but I had some body aches, headaches, things like that, but doing a lot better now. Okay, let's take a look at what you wrote here. Okay, I'm going to start this at about 25 points out of 30. I might go up slightly. Let's take a look here. So you have undoubtedly, since its discovery about 50 years ago, the internet has had tremendous influence on our society. Hence, many people believe that the internet is one of the most important technological inventions throughout the history of mankind. On the other hand, opponents argue that it has had many negative effects on people, especially on their mental and physical health. Personally, I believe that our everyday lives would be much more complicated had scientists not invented it. Wow, advanced grammar there. If scientists had not, in my opinion, the internet has positively affected our society by stimulating the economic growth and improving communications. Good. Exactly. Right now you're at a 5, by the way. But let me keep reading. First of all, in the U.S. and other developed countries, I'm going to throw that comma there after that prepositional phrase. Many companies have heavily relied on the internet, would not be able to operate without it. For example, now this is the correction here. It's were. If there were no internet, were there no internet? So when you're using that present impossible condition, you want to use were and not was. And you can only use that subject verb inversion, right? There's only, I think, with the verb were, had, and I think should. I think those are the only 3. Again, it's were, had, and should. If there were, if I should, if I had. Those 3. Companies such as Amazon, Google, and Facebook will go out of business, and hundreds and thousands of people would stay without the employments. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of all of this and just change this for conciseness purposes and put and would stay unemployed. Similarly, numerous smaller companies will be affected as well, since they would not be able to use the internet to order supply. I'm going to put to order supplies, to order advertisements, or sales. I think it's a little bit better to say it like that. So you have to order plus noun, noun, and noun. To order supplies, advertisements, or sales. Moreover, it would be much harder to coordinate work with the business partners, especially the ones from the foreign countries. Let's put a comma right there. In addition, there would be no electronic money transfer, which would dramatically slow down the financial transactions. All these examples illustrate that the internet has had a significant impact on a modern economy, and without it, I'm going to put the comma right there, the economy would not be able to thrive. Good. Second, the internet has had, I'm going to put and, not the. You're kind of introducing this as a topic in the paragraph, which means it's new information. So usually new information we use a or an, and then old information that we're referring back to something else, we use the. So it has had an immense influence on how people communicate with each other or exchange information. Not long ago, people corresponded by letters that traveled several days or even weeks. On the other hand, nowadays, through the use of the internet, emails and messages will be sent out within, I'm going to put, a few seconds. Moreover, the internet has led to the development of numerous video chat and conferencing applications that have been especially useful during the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. If there were no internet and these applications, many people would not be able to stay in touch with their friends and relatives, since in-person contacts have not been possible due to the pandemic. Good example. I like how you connect it to what's happening right now. For instance, on a daily basis, and then it's IS. I have used FaceTime. I wouldn't, because FaceTime is like a proper noun. Usually we don't put articles in front of proper nouns. But what about the United States, Michael? How about the United Kingdom? It is possible to put articles in front of proper nouns, but in many cases we don't. Especially if it's one word like this. For example, I'm not saying I'm going to use the Facebook. I just say I'm going to Facebook now. I have used FaceTime to talk and see my sister and close friends, which helps me to feel less isolated and stressed out during these hard times. Lately, many other people have been able to see their dear ones only by using the internet and the video calls. Therefore, the internet is the foundation of the modern. I'm going to put A. Is a foundation of the modern, faster way of communication. Is a foundation. I'm going to put forward the internet is a foundation for a modern, faster way of communication. In conclusion, I think that although the internet might have some negative effects on society, its positive effects on economy and communication definitely outweigh the negative ones. So I think it's strong. I mean, let me go over. I think I'm going up. Let's look at the 5. Let's see what it says here. The description doesn't lie. Effectively addresses a topic and task, is well organized, well developed, using clearly appropriate examples, reasons and or details, displays unity, progression, or coherence, displays consistent facility, though it may have minor lexical or grammatical errors. You know what? What are we going to say right here? I'm going up. I'm going to give you a 5. Why not? Good job. I'm giving you a 5. Crap. I don't like giving 5s. I hardly ever do it. But let's face it. You have a well-organized essay. Look at these developed paragraphs here. You have clearly marked topic sentences. You definitely have development, 143 words in that one paragraph. We got 182 in the other. You have a good introduction to set things up. Conclusion is not that long, but I don't think that's a major problem. You've already done what you need to do. This is good. You got good control here. You had one problem. The only one thing that bothers me was the blah 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 instead of were. That's definitely a grammatical error, but it doesn't really affect the meaning of anything. And I like how you're omitting the if conditional clause connector and you're throwing that subject verb inversion in there to kind of show some good syntactic variety. Yeah, right? That's what I'm talking about. Good job on that. I'm also grading your independent writing number 17. When people succeed in life, it is because of hard work. Being lucky has nothing to do with success in life. Do you agree or disagree with the quotation above? Use specific reasons and examples to explain your position. So I'm going to do what I did before in the previous one. 4 out of 5, 25 points. That's my starting point. I might go higher than this. On the last writing practice test, you got 30 out of 30 points. You can't do 2 in a row. Nobody does 2 in a row. Nobody. I've been teaching for 35 years. Nobody does a 30 out of 30 twice. Let's take a look at this one. Undoubtedly, people have to work diligently in order to achieve their goals. Hence, proponents think that I'm going to put hard work, not A, because work is an uncount noun. Right there. That's a systematic error, by the way. I'm not going to worry too much about it. Okay, says that determines one's success. On the other hand, others assert that someone's achievements also greatly depend on the luck. I'm going to just put luck. That's a systematic error. Personally, I believe that beside the hard work, luck has you have a because role, a very vital role, and without it, an extreme success is impossible. I don't think you need the extreme. And without it, success is impossible. In my opinion, we cannot deny the importance of good fortune, since someone's triumph depends on many uncontrollable variables, such as living circumstances and genetic inheritance. First of all, people's lives are largely determined by the ovarian lottery, as the famous billionaire Warren Buffett said. In other words, the success significantly depends on the luck of being born in the right place at the right time. For example, parents who have supportive and wealthy parents and live in the safe neighborhoods, I'm going to put live in safe neighborhoods. Yeah, this is a problem here. If you put a comma after neighborhoods, you have to put one after persons, which you did not do. So just say persons who have supportive and wealthy parents and live in safe neighborhoods have a great chance of receiving a high-quality education and achieving success at work. On the contrary, indigents who live in the unsafe areas are definitely less likely to attend good schools and have prosperous careers. Accordingly, compared to the people who were fortunate to be born into better circumstances, people who had a difficult start in their lives have to work much harder to achieve certain goals. Furthermore, I'm going to put a time in mankind's history when someone was born also affects his success. For instance, would the Amazon owner be one of the richest businessmen in the world had he been born in the 18th century when the computers and internet didn't exist? To me, that seems unlikely. These examples illustrate how important a good fortune is. Because you're using this in a noun clause, and noun clause takes statement, not question word order. So these examples illustrate how important a good fortune is for the success, just say for success, since people cannot choose their parents or a historical epoch of their birth. Second of all, persons need certain skills to succeed in their lives. Some may argue that the lower levels of the abilities could be compensated by hard work, and thus talent is not important for the success. However, my firm belief is that beside the practice and a lot of effort, talent is necessary to become one of the greatest in the world. For example, many children learn how to play the piano, but do all of them But do all of them become famous musicians? Of course not, because only a few of them were lucky to be born with the abilities that made them unique. If only the hard work, I'm going to just say success and hard work, I don't think you need. You're kind of using these as mass nouns, almost like uncount nouns, right? If only hard work was enough for success and all the children who regularly practice piano would become extremely good at it. All the children who regularly, I'm going to put it, if only the hard work were enough. That's where you're having the trouble. Were enough, then all the children who regularly practice piano would become extremely good. Similarly, if people's capabilities were insignificant for their achievements, then they all would be equally fruitful in sports. Therefore, people who were lucky to inherit the good genes from their parents have a bigger chance of success. In conclusion, I strongly believe that luck is more important. Luck is a determinant, is a more important determinant of one's success than hard work, because it influences a place and time of birth as well as a combination of inherited genes. It's good. This is a good one. You have a lot of systematic errors, especially with articles. But that's it. Everything else is pretty controlled, right? I'm going to put this one at 4.0 out of 5. I'm going to put you at 25 points out of 30. I don't think that these systematic errors are enough to drag it down. They're just some minor problems with articles. So what can you learn here? And articles are extremely complicated. I'm not going to lie to you on that, right? They are really tough. There's no easy one-step formula to master the usage of the three words a, and the, right? There really isn't. I'm going to just give you two basic principles right now. One, when you introduce new information for the first time, usually you can use a or an plus the singular count noun. Now, if it's not a singular count noun and it's new, you don't use anything, right? So that's the one thing I want you to remember. Number two, usually we don't use a or an before uncount nouns or mass nouns. So that's something that you can remember too. But remember, articles are complicated. It's tough. And you seem to have more problems this time than you did with the other. And I think what really sank you on this one was the word work and success, right? So work, I look at it as an uncount noun. It's kind of like homework. Did you do your homework? You're not going to say, I did a homework today. So, did you do your work today? Yes, I did my work. I did work today. I wouldn't say, I did a work. So that's the one thing you can remember on that. All right, thank you.